बंदिया बंदिया रे बंदिया बंदिया रे बंदिया राह पे चल बंदिया रुक जा रे बंदिया ये रात जरा सी है बात समझ बंदिया कुछ देर ही बाकी है रख आंखों से बादल आज हट जाएगा चाँद तेरी आंखों में बंदिया चल के आएगा
Good evening, all of you. Hello, all of you. So here we begin with more than half the portion is over. It's the 15th class today for GST Sarathi practice batch. Many of students are asking, is this a regular batch or is this a detailed batch or what? I don't know. I'll tell you why I don't know. The answer is, see, we know that DT is quite vast, GST is vast. So neither just only the concepts, ITC एक घंटे के अंदर पूरा concept बोल दिया, that's good for revision. But for once you need to have repeated knowledge of what is asked in exam. So today I'm going to apply this in the registration chapter also. We are not going to check all the procedures and everything in detail. Is this clear to all of you? Huh? What we will do is, we will just take up one by one the important things which are asked in exam from the first 3 sections. And then today I will apply that and we will solve questions what are asked in exam. Procedural part, just know it and leave it. Like basic procedural part, that when you get your GST certificate, can you keep it at home? घर पे पढ़ा है अभी लाके दिखाता हूँ. No, it has to be in a framed way in your business premises. Second thing is, whenever you see the board of a shop or a store, have you seen GST and number? It is mandatory to write. So these are very practical things. Okay, so that's the way you will enjoy. Thank you. Great evening to all of you also. Chalo, let us quickly dive into the registration second part. Tomorrow we are starting with 2 topics together. One is your tax invoice and another is your e-way bill. E-way bill, some of the syllabus, like I think CA syllabus, they have given it separately. CMA syllabus, immediately after registration is e-way bill, then tax invoice. We'll do it combined from tomorrow. And Saturday morning, don't miss to attend live class for DT. Already we have completed DT fast track. This live class is for total income problems. So I will again revise section 115 BAC. If some of you have not studied earlier, please go through tax amendment lecture 1. Detailed I have done. I have solved questions also. So what's your normal income? Tax. What's your 115 BAC and tax? Which is beneficial? Applied. So how to read the question, how to present will be clear Saturday morning. Saturday evening again we are continuing with the GST classes also. Okay? Chalo. Registration we have already started yesterday with section 22, which says so and so people are liable to be registered. Bas usme se hi question aata hai. I'm going to do the question in another 10 minutes now. Today it's not all theory. Already major theory we have done yesterday. second. Yeah. So what we will do is registration. Who is liable for registration? In the 4 states, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, if your turnover exceeds 10 lakhs. In all the other states where you are supplying intrastate goods and services, if your turnover exceeds 20 lakhs. Only exclusively if you are supplying goods, then if your turnover exceeds 40 lakhs, you have to get registered. Now, how they have asked this in exam and institute study material also, I'll share after some time to show you all the details. ठीक है? तो इसको शुरू करते हैं स्क्रीन शेयरिंग के साथ. The problems which I'm taking now, don't say कि ma'am I'm not having these problems. Already in the ITC sheet I have given you all the past exam papers. Same chapter wise also I have given it here. So these question and answers what I'm discussing are there with you also. One thing और एक क्या बोलना था आपको भूल गए. चलो better let us start. Okay, yeah. CTP, NRTP ये सब बहुत important है, बार बार पूछते हैं, तो we will do that. Only I am doing in the way which is required. If I go on explaining the procedure, it will take 2-3 classes only for registration, and honestly not required. Not required. So what is section 22, which says if your turnover exceeds, you're liable for registration. What is 24? Compulsory registration. Agent, online, e-commerce and all. And person who are not liable, those who are doing exempted supply. Yeah, those who are selling only on RCM. है ना? Right. And then procedure we will see. Okay? Right. So I'm revising for all of you from here. Check if you have any doubt, you can ask. पूछना कुछ डाउट है तो. 10 lakhs your aggregate turnover if it exceeds in Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. 20 lakhs in the other 6 states. We call it as MUSPET. Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Puducherry, Arunachal Pradesh and Telangana. Dipti ma'am is from Hyderabad, Telangana. So this, right? 20 lakhs during the financial year for supply of goods and services in all the other states. 40 lakhs is the turnover limit. Beyond that, if it crosses, you have to do registration. If you are dealing exclusively with goods, ma'am, I deal with goods, but I give related services also, then 20 lakhs. Okay. Now, this is recently added, so I feel market very important. What are the cases wherein 40 lakhs limit is not applicable? Even though you are doing intrastate states sales, it's only 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs. Like person who is manufacturing notified goods, those who cannot go for composition, ice cream, pan masala, tobacco, aerated waters and all. Person required to take compulsory registration. Yeah. Person engaged in making intrastate supplies within 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Person was opted for voluntary registration. Then this limit is not applicable. You remember I framed some questions on my own, more than 8-10 examples also we have done. What is the definition of aggregate turnover? See, GST registration is state-wise, but for the same PAN, all India basis, the aggregate turnover you have to check for taxable supplies, exempt supplies, export, interstate and all. Yes, but excluding the tax part, excluding the inward supply. Now this is a common sense कि inward supply is not my turnover. On inward supply, I am the recipient, I am paying the tax on RCM basis, but it's my purchases, तो वो तो include नहीं होगा. And value of exempted supply while you give loans and all. Okay, clear to all of you? Then here, you know, sometimes we feel अरे इसको और थोड़ा cut short दे सकते थे, but this is how it is asked in exam, you know. Once if you are supplying everything from Hyderabad, Telangana, then one of my branch is located in Manipur, Then for me, for Telangana, the limit is 20 lakhs. But one of my branch is located in Manipur, then overall the limit will be 10 lakhs. Okay. So like this beautiful, I don't know how many of you remember yesterday I said that in the same state, in the same city, if I have two branches, we can have one registration. But if one branch is in heart of city, another is in special economic zone, then you need to have separate registration. These small bits are picked up and asked in exam for what purpose, dear students? किसके लिए पूछते हैं? MCQs में. ठीक है? Right. Okay. Whenever there is amalgamation, transfer, or change of business because of proprietorship and all, then compulsory you have to cancel the old registration and get a new registration. But we have already completed ITC chapter. ITC benefit will be given. One state, one registration is enough. Okay. But in a single state, if you have different verticals, different nature of business, okay, then of course separate registration. Is this revision helpful for all of you? The reason is kabhi kabhi in revision some students say, ma'am, wait, I have a doubt. Then these are the classes given for all the doubt clearing. Telegram, WhatsApp group में doubt भेजो, मत भेजो personal. I think you all have noted my number, concept classes number this is. So please don't call and say ये पढ़ाओ वो पढ़ाओ. But if you have a doubt, click the picture and send it to 9290065156. ठीक है? चलो. अभी who are not liable for registration? A person who is supplying only exempted or non-taxable goods like petrol, alcoholic liquor, or a farmer, agriculturist. Yesterday we have seen the definition. Yeah. Or a person who is supplying handicrafts. Even interstate is okay. Huh? Casual taxable person or any other person also supplying handicrafts. Even interstate is okay if the turnover does not exceed 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs, but it is exempt provided they should have PAN and e-way bill. Tomorrow, when I teach you e-way bill, that time also this link will come. There's some reason why I'm taking e-way bill tomorrow. There's a lot of link in registration and e-way bill. ठीक है? चलो, these problems we have already solved. Compulsory rubber stamp dominating 24 section कल आपने लिखा it is overriding section 22 and you have to take the registration. Person making an interstate supply of goods. Okay, is my speed fine? Are you all following? Person making interstate supply of goods. This week is full of holidays. Sunday holiday, Tuesday holiday, Thursday holiday. I said if I give all the holidays, the portion will get delayed. So definitely we are taking class and appreciate from the bottom of my heart all the students who are, committed to attend these classes. Chalo. Who has to take the registration? Person making interstate supply. Okay. Except handicrafts and all is allowed up to 20 lakhs. In the 4 states, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, 10 lakhs. Casual taxable person, same. Person who is required to pay tax in RCM. E-commerce operator himself and the supplier who is supplying through e-commerce operator. And a person who is required to deduct TDS. Person who makes taxable supply of goods or services, whether as agent or principal. When you are supplying the goods as an agent on behalf of others, you have to take the registration. Then input service distributor कल बहुत डिटेल में एग्जाम्पल के साथ समझाया था आपको. Head office has given ad and all. All other e-commerce operators, then online data retrieval. Yeah, just 2 minutes, I'll be back. Really sorry, there's a call from us. Thank you for waiting. Thank you so much. Chalo. Thank you. Okay, so these are the people who should get compulsory registration. Can someone tell me in the chat box, have we done all these problems yesterday? थर्ड फोर्थ ये वाले प्रॉब्लम किए थे या नहीं किए थे? Done? Thank you. Okay, now procedure. The person who is liable for GST registration should apply within 30 days. Then his effective date of registration will be the date he is liable to pay the tax. If he applies after 30 days, then the day he gets registration, that will be the date of the registration. Ma'am, what difference does it make? The day he becomes liable may be say 1st April, the date he gets registration. So here ITC will be allowed from the date of the registration. This also with example we have done yesterday. Right. The aggregate turnover of Varun has exceeded 20 lakhs on 1st August. It submits the application of, I think this all, ye bhi kar liya humne. So registration, it is very much necessary that it has to be done within 30 days. If you do after 30 days, this is it. PAN is required. TAN is optional. Okay. So all this we have done. Now, when you apply for registration, it is in two parts. I think, shall I do this orally? Procedure for registration is into 2 pages. Let me tell you orally what is required for exam. The first part of the registration is the PAN, mobile number and email ID. Okay. So when the SSC fills up the first part, PAN, mobile number, email ID, it will be uploaded and it will be verified. PAN they can verify from the CBDT database. Yeah, ये दीप्ति छेड़ा का PAN है, number tally हो रहा है, 10 digit alphanumeric number. And second, what did I say? Mobile number. They'll send OTP for the verification. Third is email. Again in mail they will verify it. Once this verification is done, then part B you upload. Name of the partners, nature of the business, address of the main premises, another place of the business, all details you upload in part B. Okay. Once all the details are uploaded in part B, now the job of the registered person is over. Now this goes into department side. Department, you have any query, ask within 7 days. Otherwise, give me registration within 7 days. Okay. Listen here, if they have any query and if they intimate in 7 days, whenever I receive a query, again I should reply the query. If they ask us that, okay, it's a partnership firm, you didn't submit partnership deed, how many partners are there, what are their name, what is their age, what is their address, Arey, we forgot to put the deed, yellow deed. So within 7 days we will give, and then registration work will be done within 7 days from me answering. Okay. Here, one thing added since this year is Aadhaar authentication. Aadhaar authentication is mandatory for the GST registration. GST is 10-digit PAN and another 5 digits that we have seen yesterday. But Aadhaar authentication is necessary for GST. If the SSC is saying I don't have Aadhaar, apply for Aadhaar, give that slip and give your passport, driving license, voter ID for your address and all proof. Okay? Few cases where Aadhaar authentication is not possible, department says we will give you the registration not in 7 days, in 30 days. मैं बस जितना प्रोसीजर बता रही हूँ ना, इसको स्टोरी की तरह याद रख लो, बस है. So department is saying that we will give the registration in 30 days after the verification of your site. After the site verification. Earlier though it was mandatory site verification and all. Now authentication, ये Aadhaar, PAN or biometrics, जरूरत नहीं है. But in few cases, if the department feels so, no, Aadhaar is not authenticated and for specifically we want to do the site verification, they'll come and do the site. In that case, registration will be given in 30 days. Okay. Once the registration is given, the signature required on the certificate is to be digital only. So mostly all the people who are partnership firm and tax audit जिनका होता है digital signature होता ही है सबके पास. And then the registration certificate is to be put up in the place of the business. Along with that, every invoice and the board of the shop should also have the GSTN number over and out. This is the procedure. Recent amendment, authentication, 30 days. Or a question, am I guessing they will ask in exam? Deemed registration, I'll tell you how to do that. ठीक है? ठीक है बेटा, समझ में आ रहा है? पढ़ते हैं चलो इसको. Yeah, the first part you have to give the PAN, mobile and email ID. If it is SEZ separately, you have to take the registration, MCQ. Yeah, right. Once that is done, they'll give you the temporary registration number. And with that, you have to fill up the part B with all the other details and take the acknowledgement. Okay, right. Now, this is all the procedure I told you. Approval to grant the registration certificate within 3 working days. Okay. It's not 3, it is 7 working days. इसको change करो. और एक जगह भी 45 days है. I wanted you to do it as 30 days. When it comes, I'll say. Okay. If there's a deficiency, they'll give you days, 7 days. Clarification again in 7 days. Then grant the registration in the 7 days or reject the application. When they reject, they'll give you the opportunity of being heard. Ki what are the reasons? Okay. Mark this as a 3-mark question asked in exam. ये chapter से ना dear students बहुत straight questions are also asked. What are the cases if the proper officer fails to take any action? We have filled up the part A, you gave the TRN, we filled up the part B, now 7 days are over, or physical verification 30 days are over, and you're not responding, then deemed की registration मिल गया है. समझ में आ रहा है? If proper officer fails to take any action, within 30 days from the date of submission of application where registration is granted after physical verification of premises of a person who fails to undergo Aadhaar authentication or doesn't opt for the same, okay, or where the proper officer deems it fit to carry out the site verification. Are you all with me? हाँ, इसको change करो. तो ये 7 days है. Mute. Those who are joining now, please mute. मैं भी कर सकती हूँ mute. Thank you. चलो. So procedural part we are seeing now. We have completed the revision. This procedure, what I said orally is clear to all of you. Yeah. This part is recent addition can be asked in exam. I have uploaded my part A. You gave me TRN. I uploaded my part B of the application for registration under GST. You are not taking any action in 7 days from the date of application deemed to be registered. Within 7 days from the date of clarification. You ask, give clarification. Dipti ma'am, give your other details. I gave, still no response. And if physical verification is required, then 30 days time. Still no response. Then application for grant shall be deemed to have been approved. Market very important. I can definitely make out a trend ki कैसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. तो जीएसटी में ऐसे स्ट्रेट क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. No need to learn the form numbers and छोड़ दो. I don't want you to learn the rules also. Yeah, this already I have explained कि Aadhaar authentication is necessary for all the persons. Normal taxpayer, composition, casual taxable person, input service, SCZ, सबको. That too new registrations also and existing also. Right? Now this is the very simple procedure. I can say R for reading. So while filing application, the applicant gets an option as to whether he wants to opt for Aadhaar authentication. If he opts, then GST system will take him to the authentication, and there they can verify the OTP and all. Once the Aadhaar is done, his application is deemed to be approved within 7 working days. Okay? Right. Same for existing. This is also a latest amendment. If Aadhaar is not assigned, and if I'm not able to do Aadhaar authentication, will I not get the GST registration? You will get, but you have to give Aadhaar enrollment ID slip. Sir, I have not yet got, but I have applied. And any one of the following: bank passbook, voter ID, passport, and license. But once Aadhaar is allotted, this is the temporary slip. You have to authenticate it within a period of 30 days. Who are the people who are exempted from Aadhaar authentication? Department, state government, central government, local authority, PSUs, and all. Okay? Yeah, here there's a change. Please, in the material with you, if it is 45 days, change it to 30 days. It is mandatory for the taxpayer to submit bank details, 15 digits bank account number, IFSC code, after obtaining registration within 30 days from the grant of registration or due date of furnishing the GSTR 1 or invoice furnishing facility. IFF, this term is used where the person is going for quarterly return and monthly payment. See, GST you have to pay monthly once you are a registered taxpayer. But if you are a chota mota registered taxpayer, you can file your return GSTR 3B and all quarterly. So I want to repeat this and check if you have different in your material, isko change karo. ये एक recent amendment है. I have taken care of all the amendments, tax specific amendments which are given in the CMA, CA all website. So this is one of the amendment. It is mandatory to give the bank details within 30 days. However, this is not applicable for those who have been granted registration as TDS collector and deductor. See, the moment they deduct TDS, they have to give to government and bank account detail. So if you are covered under section 51 and 52, 50 तो interest है आएगा आगे, 51 and 52 में TDS काट रहे हैं या TCS collect कर रहे हैं, then they are mandatorily required to give bank account details at the time of application only. Others can optionally give at the time of application, if not within 30 days. Is my speed fine? Have you done all the corrections? Is there any confusion? Pucho. Physical verification, I told you. If the proper officer feels that it is required, he can go for. Ye padha diya aapko. Procedure for issuance of certificate. It will have GSTN number. GSTN number 15 digit. 15 digit GSTN number. One second. Okay. Manner of display of the registration certificate and GSTN. Okay. They have to put every registered person shall display certificate in prominent location at the principal place of the business. You can't keep the certificate at home. And GSTN number mandatory on every board. Certificate is to be signed or verified through EVC by proper officer. The certificate is digitally signed. Can you add the word here? Digitally signed. Chalo. Very quickly now, what is the registration procedure for CTP and NRTP? Market important for exam point of view. Questions आते हैं, but बहुत easy question आते हैं. Already, if you remember that things which are important, I have repeated yesterday, again I am repeating. Who is CTP? Casual taxable person. I am a registered taxpayer in Hyderabad. I go from my boutique in Hyderabad, I take up dresses and I put up an exhibition in Mumbai. So for my Maharashtra, I am a CTP. I have to take temporary registration. Huh? And who is a non-resident taxable person who's not having any place of business in India? As we said, Google or what do you call it? Zoom or yes, they are only online existing. So CTP means a person who occasionally undertakes transactions involving the supply of goods and services in course of the furtherance of business. One second. Yeah. CTP and NRTP can first be revised in 3 points, exam point of view for MCQs. I'm teaching this topic very differently. I don't want to go in detail in the procedures. CTP and NRTP are temporary peoples. So they don't have time within 30 days whenever you are liable, na, ajana. No. When I go to Mumbai, the Mumbai government is saying prior to your start of the exhibition, 5 days before only, you have to get a registration in the Mumbai state. I can't say I'm already registered, but you're registered in Hyderabad. GST registration is state-wise. So NRTP and CTP should apply for registration 5 days prior to the date when they are liable. And they have to pay the tax in advance. Their registration is not valid for more than 90 days. Can they apply and take registration only for 60 days? Yes, but max is 90 days. On request, it can be extended for 90 days. And when they apply for registration for 90 days, they have to pay the tax in advance. Are the points clear to all of you or learn ho raha hai ya nahi? Right? Are you able to learn it? Chalo. Casual taxable person means a person who occasionally undertakes transactions involving supply of goods, whether as principal or agent. Non-resident means a person who occasionally undertakes transactions involving supply of goods or services, whether as principal or agent, but they don't have any place of business in India. He has a PAN, he does not have a PAN. Yeah. Application for, it's not distinguished between, these are just pointers to remember. They have to make an application for registration and forms given. He has to undertake transactions in course of furtherance of business. There is no such requirement. He has to file all the CTP is like a registered supplier only. He has to file all the returns. He has to file a separate return. When I come to returns topic, I'll say casual taxable person will file GSTR 1, 2, 3. 2 is the nowadays auto-populated, but pura. Jabki NRTP will file GSTR 5. He can claim the ITC because though temporary, but he is registered. NRTP can get ITC only in respect of import of the goods and services for the same reason for which they are giving selling goods and services in India. For selling goods and services, if NRTP has imported the goods and services, but only for that part they can take ITC. And I hope you all remember the supply chapter that import of goods is treated as what beta? Interstate supply. Ho gaya? Chalo. At least 5 days prior they have to apply. Same. Electronically. Registration is valid for 90 days. Period mentioned in application or 90 days. Sometimes government can say no NRTP, we will give you registration only for 40 days. Okay. Taxable supplies. Yeah, 5 days prior to the commencement of the business. So if my exhibition is Mumbai is from 15th of April, 10th of April के पहले ही मुझे apply करना पड़ेगा. Taxable supplies to be effected only after the issuance of registration certificate. It can further be extended 90 days. Tax advance में भरना होगा, and if you extend the registration for 90 days, again that also advance जो deposit है उसको भी extend करना होगा. Amount deposited to be credited in the electronic cash ledger. ठीक है? Right. They have to pay the tax in cash. Okay. Done. So CTP and NRTP are over. Anyone is having any doubt? From when the screen is not clear, can you respond please? Screen दिख रहा है नहीं दिख रहा है आपको? देखो. Okay. Once you are registered under GST, you are registered for CGST, SGST, IGST, compensation cess सबके लिए. Once you are rejected for all. Procedure of amendment of registration. Now, if you amend the core fields, okay, ये MCQ में 2-3 बार पूछा है कि what are the core fields? So, and यहाँ पे core fields and put a mark like this. What are the core fields? Where the change relates to core field of information. Okay. Legal name, address of the principal place or any additional place, or any change in the constitution, karta, director, partner, on. So these are the core fields. So you have to make application for change within 15 days. If you want to make change in your registration, name of the business, address, you want to add on other place, or change in the configuration, karta is changing, or partners are changing, director is coming, director is going, then you have to intimate within 15 days of change. Other than this, all the changes can be done on the spot with the portal, मतलब, है ना? उसमें किसी की कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. Change to be effective in all the registrations obtained on the basis of PAN, where change relates to non-core field, to be effective upon submission of the application. Non-core field, छोटा changes हैं, your mobile number, your email ID and all, then just OTP will come. Okay, my old mobile number was 92900, now it is 93. So like this, you can yourself change it and it will be effective from the same time. Okay. Fresh registration in case of change in PAN. See, this is like logically एकदम correct. इसके ऊपर 1 mark का question भी आया है, आएगा भी आगे. You know, when the proprietary business is taken over by son, still do they have to change the registration? Yes, because GST is a 15-digit registration number in which 10 digits are PAN. So PAN is different for father and son. Na? Fresh registration in case of change in place from one state to another. Because GST registration is state-wise. Don't think this to be very easy. Huh? इसके ऊपर बड़ा story बना के they ask you questions. Are you marking what is important? Retrospective amendment to be effective on commissioner's order. Okay, if required. Show cause notice to be issued prior to rejection of amendment application. Reply if the department has a doubt कि हाँ why we should amend the name of the firm या करता क्यों change हो रहा है क्या है, those core fields they can ask you. And same, if the proper officer fails to take action within 15 working days from date of submission of application or within 7 days from the date of receipt, वो question deemed कि हो गया, changes are effective. Like I told you, no, deemed registration, they will ask in exam this also. State with reason. state with reason whether following statement is true or false. When there is a change in constitution of business and because of that there's a change in PAN, business entity can apply for amendment in prescribed manner within 15 days. Business entity can amend the registration. Answer is false. If there is a change in PAN, there is a change in state, you have to take a fresh registration because GST registration is PAN wise and state wise. Where there's a change in constitution of business result in the change of PAN, the said person shall apply for fresh registration. He cannot amend the certificate. So two procedural aspects are over. क्या क्या खत्म हो गया? Registration and amendment. Now we are going for cancellation 29 and section 30 revocation. ठीक है? तो पहले cancellation करते हैं. Who can cancellation? All. मतलब मैम इसका मतलब क्या है? If the SSC feels I no longer want to do this business, CA motto, I am only saying cancel my registration. I will fill up the cancellation form. Whatever ITC I have claimed, I will reverse. Ma'am, IT कैसे reverse होगा ITC? Your chapter, ITC chapter. Have we done? On raw material, invoice basis, reverse. On work in progress, reverse. In finished goods, जितना ITC है, reverse. On capital goods, 5% for the every quarter or GST rate on transaction value, whichever is higher. So ITC is to be reversed with ITC chapter. But I can apply myself CA motto कि no, and now I don't want to do this business. Retire आराम से मजे करते हैं. Cancel my registration. Or the department can apply. If they say no, this SSC is evading tax, they are not complying, they are not filing return. There are many reasons. Or if they are dealing into prohibited product, and there are many other contraventions, department can also initiate cancellation. Have you digested something very basic? Who will initiate cancellation? Tax registered person himself, CA motto, or department. दोनों कर सकते हैं. देखो, is my speed fine? वर्क कंटिन्यू बोलना है, बट आज तो पक्का टाइम के पहले क्लास खत्म हो जाएगा. और ईवे बिल आज नहीं करना है, थोड़ा शुरू भी नहीं करना है, कल करें. Are you all attending total income practice class morning 11 o'clock Saturday? And when you get the message and the link, do share it with your friends. मैम कौन से प्रॉब्लम करेंगे? DT कंपाइलर जो ऑलरेडी आप सबके पास. Voluntary cancellation of registration under section 29. Proper officer may either his own or application made by registered person or his legal heir. In case of a death of the proprietor, his legal heir will make the application, cancel the registration of my father and issue me the registration. Circumstances in which registration is cancelled, CA motto. मतलब खुद से cancel कर ले रहे. Business has been discontinued, transferred, amalgamated, merged. There is any change in the constitution of the business. There is any change in the constitution of the business, or the taxable person is no longer liable to be registered under 20 to 24 my turnover, or intends to opt out voluntarily. See, either business is discontinued, transferred, amalgamated, demerged, or there's a change in constitution of the business. Or see, constitution में little change मतलब HUF में सिर्फ कर्ता का नाम change हुआ तो it's amendment, but HUF is converted into LLP like this, some constitutional changes, no, you have to cancel or no longer required. Cancellation of registration by proper officer. Department is initiating the cancellation of registration means it is dangerous. Something is going wrong. So the PO may cancel the registration including any retrospective date where a registered person has contravened the provisions. or a person paying tax under composition has not furnished the return for 3 consecutive tax period. Composition में 3 consecutive period के लिए return नहीं भरा. Any registered person other than covered under composition has not furnished the return for 6 months. Composition is not 3 months. Composition is 3 periods. Tax period could be quarterly. Registered person for continuous 6 months. Any person who has voluntary registration has not commenced the business within 6 months. You have taken voluntary registration. We told you it's not necessary. No, ma'am, I'll take. Huh? Now start the business within 6 months. Otherwise, your registration will get cancelled. Registration has been obtained by fraud, willful misstatement and suppression. Theory question. और एक भी है इसके बाद. There are amendments also in the next one, which I am reading. So when the PO will dominate and say, we will cancel your registration, घर में चॉकलेट लाना बंद कर देंगे, एक से ज्यादा चॉकलेट खाना नहीं रोज. So the proper officer is saying, we'll cancel the registration, that too with retrospective effect. If you have contravened provisions, if you are a composition person, not filed your return for the last 3 period or 6 months, or one person who has taken voluntary registration, has not commenced business within 6 months, or registration has been obtained by means of fraud, willful misstatement and all. Composition dealer does not file GSTR 4 beyond 3 months. Normal taxpayer opting for QRPM does not file GSTR for 2 continuous quarters. Composition for 3 periods. Normal taxpayer not opting for QRPM who does not file the return for 6 months, or if the aggregate turnover of the preceding financial year is less than 5 crore, he can opt for quarterly return, monthly payment. This is just an explanation of this only. Who can go for quarterly return, monthly payment if their turnover is less than 5 crores? And now they have gone in QRPM, but they have not submitted return for 2 quarters. Not in QRPM, 6 continuous months. Composition, 3 consecutive period. 3 months नहीं है, 3 consecutive period. ठीक है? Cases where CO moto होगा वो तो clear है. When will you cancel the registration forcefully? ये तो clear है. Here there is an amendment. Added in these are these 2 clauses. Just abhi add हुए. देखो. Cases where registration is liable for cancellation, Rule 21. If he does not conduct any business from the declared place, or issues invoice or bill without the supply of goods, fake bills you are issuing in GST so that your buyer can claim fake ITC, violates provisions of 171, anti-profiteering measure, violates the provision of Rule 10A, avails ITC in violation of the provisions of Section 16 or rules made thereunder, furnishes detail of outward supply under 37 for one or more tax period which is in excess of the outward supply declared by him in the valid return. Okay. So is not giving the proper detail. Violates the provisions of 86B. 1% at least of the output tax you have to pay in cash. Registered person required to file 39(1), मतलब regular return, has not filed it for 6 months. Registered person required to file return under 39(1) for each quarter has not furnished the return for 2 consecutive periods. QRPM, ma'am, why you have given so many times? Remembrance के लिए. Clear to all of you. Check करो इसको एक बार. हाँ. This one, these 2 are added, the last 2 ones. Check it. And if you have any doubt, ask me. I will to revise again. You all please check up once, and if it is all clear, message me. Is the screen blurred today or is it clear? Can someone message? Live in YouTube, live in Zoom. अब थोड़ा सा ब्लर्ड दिख रहा है स्क्रीन. मैंने तो चश्मा पहन रखा है. Thank you. Thank you so much for the response and the commitment. So, CA students, I know there is not much time left, but all of you who are so committed to attend the classes in Zoom, I will be doing chapter-wise exam for you all, sending you in mail the question paper, and you can answer and reply in mail, no charges. Question exam ना मैं common नहीं लेती हूँ, जैसे ये तो YouTube में भी पढ़ा रही हूँ. Exam, if I give the papers and answers in Telegram, it becomes very casual. So if you're willing to write the exam, stay in touch. After these GST classes also, we will take chapter-wise exam. For sure. Okay, so is it clear to you? If you are doing fraudulent things, if you are contravening the provisions, now what is rule 10A, 16, deep जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, छोड़ दो. If you are not filing monthly return for 6 months, quarterly return for 2 periods, composition for 3 quarter periods, then you are liable कि your GST registration will get cancelled. Obviously, opportunity will be given to you of being heard. Okay. You know, while you apply for your cancellation, this is a very beautiful period. I mean, not very beautiful, कोई खुशी की बात नहीं है कि conceptually बहुत अच्छा point है कि when you apply for the registration, cancellation, until your registration is cancelled, that period is called as suspension. You can't take ITC, you can't take issue tax invoice and all because you've already applied for cancellation. Clear to all of you? That term here is called as suspension. ये देखो. During pendency of the proceeding related to cancellation, the proper officer may suspend the registration for such period and manner. Where registered person has applied for cancellation of registration. Where registered person has applied for cancellation, registration shall be deemed to be suspended from the date of submission of application or date from which cancellation is sought. Either I have applied CO moto for application or the PO is asking me for cancellation. So from that day, my registration will not be cancelled. It will be suspended. Where cancellation of registration has been initiated by department on its own. Okay, right? When they feel the returns and all are not there, they can ask the details and suspend it. Chhod do. If you want, just read it once. I told you. Because I can understand how vast it is. Extra cheezon mein nahi jana hai. Registered person whose registration has been suspended. Consequence. I told you, no, consequences are very important. Mark this important. Once you have applied for cancellation and your registration is not cancelled, then he shall not make any taxable supply, cannot issue tax invoice during the period of suspension. He shall not make any taxable supply, cannot issue tax invoice, and shall not be required to furnish any return also. When what do you call it? एक बार when registration is cancelled, तभी भी last में annual return की जगह return एक file होता है, पूरा हिसाब किताब खत्म कर दो. I mean, say whatever ITC you have obeyed, but till your registration is suspended, you cannot make a taxable supply. You cannot issue a tax invoice because you are already on ventilator. Please remember this. रहेगा नहीं रहेगा registration, you don't know, and shall not require to furnish any return. Suspension of registration shall be deemed to be revoked upon completion of cancellation of the proceedings by PO. Such revocation shall be effective from date on which suspension has come effect. Now, PO said, okay, we had some doubt. Our doubt is clear. We are not cancelling your registration. So suspension revoke ho jayega. Then you can file your late return and all. ठीक है? So suspension may be revoked. Ma'am, but that time we didn't issue taxable supply. We didn't issue the tax invoice. So that whole month we were at loss. Don't worry. Tomorrow when I teach you tax invoice, you have the concept of revised invoice and all. So definitely where order having the effect of revocation has been passed, the provision of revised tax invoice, first return made during the suspension shall apply. In short, ठीक है, when the registration cancellation is cancelled, then you can claim tax supply, you can claim tax invoice by revised. Cancellation of registration not to affect the tax liability. Superb and logical point. Oh, I'm going for cancellation. I don't have to pay tax. If any tax is due, you have to pay. Cancel, and my registration is cancelled on 10th of April. If 15th of April there is a liability for last year 20 to 23, can I say 15th April? Who Dipti Chheda? Who is it? I am not a registered person. I am unregistered now. But this liability is for a period that time I was registered. So after cancellation also you are liable to pay the tax for the period for which you are registered. Is this clear to all of you? Cancellation of the registration under this section shall not affect the liability of the person to pay tax and other dues or to discharge any obligation or rules made thereunder. Yeah, whether or not such tax and other dues are determined before or after the cancellation. Cancellation under one act will be cancellation for all. On cancellation, pay the ITC on the goods and all. How? On inputs, based on your invoice, semi-finished goods, finished goods, capital goods. Capital goods पे कैसे पे करोगे? Amount equal to ITC taken, reduced by percentage point as may be prescribed. Useful life is not taken more than 5 years. So how many months are over? This same concept we have studied in ITC. We have worked out problem also. Charlie Limited, 17th American. Tax on transaction value of such capital goods or plant and machinery under section 15. Matlab whatever ITC I have availed, say it is for 5 years. So if now only 7 months are left, utna reverse karenge. Or what is the section 15 means the transaction value into say GST rate, whichever is high. Okay. Procedure to be followed by registered person seeking cancellation or registration. अब यहाँ से read कर. Conditions they are asking we have done. फिर से एक बार. Who can go for cancellation? Who can go for cancellation? SSE himself or his legal head or department. Okay. Department will go if you have not filed your monthly return for 6 months, quarterly return for 2 months, 2 quarters, and composition return for 3 quarters, or you have violated 86B, then they can ask you to cancel. While your application is pending for cancellation by yourself or by department, your registration is said to be suspended. You can't issue a tax invoice. छोटे छोटे questions आते हैं, okay? And when your registration get cancelled, you have to reverse all this. Procedure to be followed by registered person seeking cancellation. Person to whom a registration has been granted or a person to whom UIN has been granted under Rule 17 seeking cancellation shall electronically submit an application. The details of inputs held in stock and all Show cause notice for registration will be given. If they have a doubt, they'll clear, reply, and then they will cancel. No need to learn all this form number. Same application can be made by legal heirs also. Provisions relating to revocation of cancellation of registration. Last part now, section 30. What was 29? Cancellation of the registration. What is 30? Revocation of cancellation. Sir, I had applied for cancellation, but sorry, I've changed my mind now. I don't want to cancel. I will continue this restaurant and all. Huh? So any registered person whose registration is cancelled may apply to such officer for revocation or cancellation within 30 days. In your material, nowhere it should be 45 days. Everywhere it is now 30 days. Even for bank account details, it is now 30 days. The set period of 30 days may be extended. This is a recent amendment. For reason recorded in writing for a period of another 30 days by JCAC, okay, if required. So once registration is cancelled, can it be revoked? Yes. Within how many days? 30 days or another 30 days. Acceptance, rejection of the application or restoration. If they say, okay, we accept your revocation, then your registration will be again revoked. They have to apply show cause notice and disposal of the application. Either they can reject or they can give. Okay, right. UIN cannot apply for cancellation or revocation of the cancelled registrations. You know what is UIN? There are people, embassies and all, who get, instead of registration number, they get unique identification number. But ma'am, embassies and all, no GST is payable. But whatever goods and services they have procured from India, they are getting refund of the GST paid. And for refund, unique identification number is given to embassies, UNOs and all. So they cannot apply for revocation or cancellation. Cancellation of registration will not affect the liability of registered person to pay the tax for a period prior to cancellation. This they can give you in exam date form. You were registered for 23-24. Registration cancelled on 10th April 24. Cancelled. Demand. Taxes raised on 15th April. Can you say on 15th April, I am unregistered, why should I pay tax? But this tax is for a period for which you are registered. You are liable to pay tax. Is this clear to all of you? I know I have gone little fast in the procedural part because not required. हाँ, ये 6 मार्क के लिए क्वेश्चन पूछा हुआ है in your earlier exam. Back of your book, I mean say all past exam papers मैंने जो दिए ना उसमें से लिया. Aryabhat of Assam is exclusively engaged in intrastate taxable supply of ready-made garments. Are you all with me? Aryabhat of Assam is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of ready-made garments. His turnover in the financial year in Assam is 12 lakhs. He has another showroom in Manipur where the turnover is 11 lakhs. So Assam means it comes under Muspat. याद है सबको? No, Muspat में नहीं आएगा ना. There to A is Arunachal Pradesh. Once we can check. And of course for this, इसके लिए तो clear ही है. For Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. What is the limit? Section 22 says that you have to go for registration if your turnover exceeds 10 lakh. यहाँ तो turnover 11 lakh है. So one state also in the specified 4 state, this form has to go for registration. Let me check for Assam. I don't think Assam is covered in Muspat. 8 states. एक बार देख लेते हैं. We have done it yesterday. Please be frank. Any one of you is feeling I've gone fast, then ask me where you want explanation. I myself have skipped all the form numbers. क्या sections कितने form numbers याद रखेंगे? And along with this TDS rates, deductions. TDS I will definitely take one exclusive revision class. Many students are asking for that, so surely. Yeah, here I am. Muspet, Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Puducherry, Arunachal Pradesh. So Assam is covered under 40 lakhs. Ye raha. Jammu and Kashmir, Assam. But one of the intrastate is branches is, and you have to see the aggregate turnover on all India basis. No? See, these people are so smart. They are giving registration state wise, but aggregate turnover they are taking checking full. है ना? Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, charo. So should this person get registered? Answer is yes. 6 marks question, and imagine how scoring it is going to be in 50 marks, your registration. Recent amendment में bank details you have to give in 30 days, Aadhaar authentication, physical verification, ये सब थोड़े 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 amendments हैं. Let's read what is the answer. Aryabhat is eligible for enhanced threshold limit of turnover 40 lakhs as he is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply. However, since he is engaged in supplying ready-made garments from specified special category state, where the threshold limit is 10 lakhs. Hence, Aryabhat is liable to get registered if his turnover exceeds 10 lakhs. Clear to all of you? And once registered, can I say, oh, Manipur, my turnover is 11 lakhs, I'll get registered. Oh, Assam, it is only 12 lakhs. No, Assam, you please wait, 40 lakhs. Once registered, you are registered for all the places of business in India, pan-India basis with the same PAN. Second, Bharat of Panjim, Goa is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of shoes. His aggregate turnover is 22 lakhs. Should he get himself registered? Without looking at the answer, can you say? I want answers in chat box. And be committed. Even if you're watching it as recording, still you can answer. He is in Goa. Yes. Or no. बस उतना ही बोल दो. Should he get himself registered? Yes or no? I'm super excited because the problems I have given in the e-way bill, you will enjoy the class. और e-way bill आता ही है, theory के लिए due ही है. हाँ. What is the answer? He is in Goa. Only intrastate sale, that too of goods. What is the turnover limit for registration? Less than 40 lakhs. And he is only 22 lakhs. No need for registration. Application threshold limit. Yes. For registration for Bharat, in given cases 40 lakhs as he is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply. Thus he is not liable to get registration. See, all these are different problems. I could have given problem 8, 9, 10. मैंने वो नहीं किया. Vikramaditya of Himachal Pradesh is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of fossil meals. Fossil meals नहीं होता, fossil bricks and all. जो वो आइसक्रीम एडिबल ऑयल उसमें है. His aggregate turnover is 24 lakhs. Of course, he has to get registered because for fossil, ice cream, pan masala, गुटका, bricks, tiles, flash, अभी जो आया ash, जो भी word है उसको जो बोलना है बोलो. ये सबके लिए 20 lakhs is the limit. I started the class no yesterday in section 22 a recent amendment. मैंने ब्रैकेट में भी डाला है देखो. Vikramaditya being exclusively engaged in supply of bricks of fossil meals is not eligible for enhanced limit of 40 lakhs. The threshold limit for him is 20 lakhs because the nature of the product is like that. Thus, he is liable for registration. क्योंकि 24 lakhs हो गया है term. Okay. So just wait here. We have completed, but I've promised that I'll be taking questions from the study material. 10 minutes more. कभी कभी हम लोग टाइम एक्सीड करते हैं तो आज सही में बिफोर टाइम होगा. Sometimes I have exceeded like 2 hours 10 minutes, but that was linked. And thank you so much. One thing I appreciate that all the online students are also super committed. कि हाँ ऑनलाइन क्लास है कभी भी भाग जाएंगे. थैंक यू बोले बिना नहीं जाते हैं. I also say thank you. Let's make sure that as you are responding in the class and getting correct answers, share this with your friends. Like, subscribe to the channel till exam. Promise you will get super good content here. Yeah, I want to repeat one thing कि मैंने, as I told you, that tax invoice वाला part. Tax invoice is a separate chapter and e-way bill is separate, but I'll give you the all material together for coming 2 or 3 classes. I don't know, whatever is required. है ना? चलो. 30 days वाला याद हुआ? If you apply in 30 days, the date you are liable, that will be your date of registration. What are core fields and what are non-core fields for amendment? That you all please remember. I'm opening up the question answers for all of you. Just wait, please, 2 minutes. Though this is CA questions, but the level of the questions are same. CMA students anywhere, if you feel कि कहीं कुछ कम हो रहा है या आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. Okay, I just want to go from here only. Ma'am, why have you opened? Let us recapitulate. Shall we go with the important revision here once again because I want you to make learn now? और उसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे? Registration of GST is PAN based, one registration per state. It's a 15-digit number. Once you are registered for all. Who is person liable for registration whose threshold limit exceeds? In case of amalgamation and all transferee. Aggregate turnover में क्या क्या लेंगे? Taxable, exempt, export, interstate, sub. Excluding that GST part. 4 state 10 lakhs. 6 states 20 lakhs. Rest all also 20 lakhs. But 40 lakhs only if you are supplying only goods. Compulsory registration in certain cases. Interstate, casual taxable person, non-resident and all. Person not liable for registration. Agriculturist and all that. Where and when you have to apply for registration. Within 30 days you have to apply under section 22 and 24 and for CTP and NRTP within 5 days. Okay. Voluntary registration. Very nice. Appreciated the way they have made these charts. Institutes have done a great effort here. Voluntary registration. Person liable for registration and UIN number you will get. If you apply within 30 days, effective date of registration is liable for registration. After 30 days, effective date is grant of registration. Procedure for registration: fill up the part 1, get all OTP and all verified, and get TRN. Then fill up part B and then wait. If physical verification is there within 30 days, if not within 7 days, the department will reply. This I've already discussed many times, at least 5 days before 90 days. If there is a change in core field, then 15 days may the person has to apply. Non-core fields on the spot he can. How you want to change your password, so they send you some verification and then there only you can change your password. वैसे cancellation of the registration. You have not filed your return for 6 months or 2 tax period, or return for a financial year beyond 3 months from the date of furnishing the said return for composition supplier. Composition supplier goes for quarterly return, so 2 tax period. Procedure for cancellation. Revocation of the cancellation. Can they apply? Yes, within 30 days. From here the questions are starting. बहुत अच्छे questions हैं, एक बार करके देखते हैं, because there's a lot of trend, whether it is CA or CMA exam, deductions and residential status, and same level of the questions are asked again and again. ठीक है, चलो. Aggregate turnover of the footwear has exceeded 40 lakhs on 1st September. It submits the application for registration 28. Registration is granted on. So what will be the effective date? 1st September, because they have applied within 30 days. Mehta is an architect. His aggregate turnover exceeded on 25th October. He submits application on 26th November. So गए घर जाके. Registration certificate is granted on 5th. What will be the valid date? 5th. Ma'am, इतने easy question आते हैं. Yes. In order to be eligible for grant, a person must have a PAN. Yes. State one exception to it. NRTP. UIN. Where PAN is not available, then they can go for the registration without PAN also. Otherwise, the PAN has to be mandated. What is the one exception? NRTP. Okay. Right. State which of the followings are liable for registered. Agent supplying taxable goods on behalf of other person, and such agents aggregate turnover does not exceed threshold limit. Invoices are issued to customers in the name of agent. Of course, agent has to register even though his turnover does not exceed, but section 24 compulsory registration says if agent is supplying on behalf of principal, he has to go for compulsory registration, section 24. Agriculturist who is only engaged in the supply of produce and his aggregate turnover exceeds, then also, even if your turnover is 60 lakhs, but if you are a farmer, no need for registration. But with your farming, if you're trading, you're farming tomatoes and then you're manufacturing tomato sauce also, organic, gone, then you have to take the registration. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है आपको? हाँ. Pure oils has supplied machine oil and high speed oil. Machine oil 15 lakhs. High speed oil is exempt. High speed diesel, petrol, ATF पे नहीं है. But for aggregate turnover, you have to include 15, 10. Machine oil in Punjab. See, this is also intrastate. This is also intrastate. So what is their total turnover? 15 and 10, 25 and 10, 35. They're just supplying goods and their turnover has not exceeded 40 lakhs, so no need of registration. Am I going fast? You want me to go slow, or you are able to answer with me? Please reply. अच्छा एक काम करते हैं, नेक्स्ट वाला क्वेश्चन ही आप ही आंसर दे दो. What will be your answer in the same question? If Pure Oil supplies high-speed diesel in Delhi in the capacity of an agent of mixed oil where invoice to customers are issued by Pure Oils. So in Delhi it is supplying as agent. Now will they have to get the registration? It's a very brilliant question. Huh? See, in Delhi, what he's supplying? Or if you are not having the question, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Screen तो दिख रही है ना. We are practicing more questions because we have completed the time before time. And this chapter is theory. So the more you practice the questions, you will get application. Here though it is not applicable. Now the twist in the question is in serial number 2. Supply of high-speed diesel oil. Pure Oil supplies high-speed diesel oil in Delhi in the capacity of agent of the Mixed Oils Limited, where invoice to customer are issued in the name of Pure Oils. So he is supplying as agent. Same diesel. Is he liable for registration? Yes or no? बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, बहुत अच्छा. Take your time and ask your doubts. As soon as we say agent, no, our mind says, yes, ma'am, as an agent, he has to apply for the registration. But the answer is no. Because as an agent also, what he is supplying? Speed diesel, which is anyhow exempted. Okay? As an agent, he should do taxable supply. तो फिर 24 में covered होगा. And otherwise, the threshold limit, even if you take the diesel supply 10 lakh, 15 and 10, it is not crossing 40 lakhs, so not registered. Examine whether the supplier of the goods is liable for. Are you getting the questions? At least class के backside जो मैंने आर्यभट्ट वाला question किया या बस only the questions are in threshold limit. That is why threshold limit yesterday, threshold limit now, threshold limit in the revision and procedure you can skip. Examine whether the supplier of goods procedure पूरा skip नहीं है. कोर के लिए 15 दिन का टाइम है, नॉन कोर खुद से कर सकते हैं, वो थोड़ा थोड़ा हमने पढ़ा है. Raghav of Assam is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of garments. His turnover in the financial year is 33 lakhs. He has another showroom in Tripura. One showroom also in Tripura gone. Pulkit of Panjim, Goa is exclusively engaged in interstate supply of shoes. No, not required. This was only asked in exam. I have taken that Aryabhat question from exam. Study material, CMA questions, CA questions are asked in exam. Harshit of Himachal Pradesh is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of pan masala. Am I going fast or clear? Here 40 lakhs is the turnover limit, so not applicable. Harshit of Himachal Pradesh is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of pan masala and his aggregate turnover in the current financial is 24 lakhs. Of course, he will have to go. Exclusive supply of goods, the turnover limit is 40 lakhs. But for tobacco, pan masala, edible eyes and all, ice creams and all, it is 20 lakhs. So his turnover is 24 lakhs. Of course, he has to go for registration. Seventh, I think same can be asked in exam as it is. examine whether the supplier is liable to get registered. Ankit of Assam is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of taxable service. Indicator in your mind, 20 lakhs limit. His aggregate turnover in the current financial year is 25 lakhs. Is he liable for registration? Yes. Yes. Because he's engaged in supply of services, goods नहीं है. Services के लिए क्या limit है बेटा? 20 lakhs. Sanchit of Assam is engaged in intrastate supply of taxable goods and services both and turnover 30 lakhs. Yes. Either for services or goods. What is the limit? 20 lakhs. Shall we write a booster note for limits? Please reply because I can't say how much weightage it is important. बस यहाँ से सिंपल थियोरी क्वेश्चंस है बट ये ऐसे ही पूछते भी हैं एग्जाम. What happens when a registration is obtained by means of willful fraud or suppression? The proper officer will cancel the registration and whatever ITC you have obtained you have to reverse. At the time of registration, will the SSA have to declare all the places of business? Answer is yes. And if there is an additional place, until now I was supplying the goods from A and B. Now I have made a branch in C also. Within 15 days, I have to intimate of, because this is a change in core area. So amendment in core area, name, place of the business, address. हाँ, ये सब core areas हैं. इनमें अगर change हो रहा है कर्ता और वो सब में, तो you have to inform. हाँ, if there is a change in state or if there is a change in PAN, you have to obtain new registration. Okay, right? You want to write the booster notes? It will take 5 minutes क्योंकि लिखने से ही learn होंगे ना ये limits. याद तो है, I know that you all also remember, but थोड़ा और quality good हो जाएगा. चलो लिखते हैं ना registration के लिए. What do we write? Section 22. Liable for registration, a person is liable for registration if aggregate turnover definition is same as composition scheme. Composition scheme में पढ़े थे ना, composition scheme क्यों लिख रहे हैं? Composition supply. Person for liable for registration of aggregate turnover exceeds threshold limit greater than 10 lakhs, because less than equal to तो आए, तो ये greater than 10 lakh in Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. If it exceeds more than 20 lakhs, taxable supply of services or goods and services. Either you are supplying services or goods and services. And all this is intrastate. Yeah, you can have Delhi ka Delhi, Punjab ka Punjab. So more than 20 lakhs. In which state? Muspat. Meghalaya, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Puducherry, Assam. Oh, sorry, not Assam. Assam तो बाद में आ जाएगा. अरुणाचल प्रदेश, and Telangana. Dipti ma'am state, Hyderabad comes in Telangana. So what's the turnover limit here? Above 20 lakhs. Above 40 lakhs. Only for taxable supply of goods. Only for taxable supply of goods. Again, intrastate. Except किसके लिए 40 lakhs की लिमिटेड एप्लीकेबल नहीं है? मैन्युफैक्चरर ऑफ टोबैको, पान मसाला, आइसक्रीम, edible eyes, and recently added fossil bricks, tiles. Even though you are supplying intrastate, less than 40 lakhs, you have to get them registered because even they are not allowed for composition. तो यहाँ तो सवाल ही नहीं है. Okay, above 10 lakhs taxable हो जाएगा, above 20 lakhs taxable होगा, 40 lakhs only for taxable supply of goods. This limit is not applicable. Yeah. Now write down note. Interstate sales. Interstate sales. Interstate supply. Mandatory. Covered. Interstate supply. Mandatory covered under section 24. Compulsory registration. Interstate किया ना तो compulsory registration करना पड़ेगा. Except interstate. Except में except है हाँ, लेकिन अच्छा है. Interstate supply mandatory. Listen and write if my writing is not clear. Promise you all are able to write. ये limit में you will get 6 marks. I think around 8 to 10 quality good questions we have solved now. Interstate supply mandatory covered under section 24 compulsory registration except interstate supply of handicrafts by CTP or taxable person up to 20 lakhs in 10 lakhs in those 4 states. You can interstate supply handicrafts from Gujarat to Telangana for exhibition in Telangana. You can come from Kashmir to Telangana, but provided your turnover should not exceed 20 lakhs and in those 4 states 10 lakhs. Then you are not liable for registration. Otherwise, you are liable for registration. Core fields, non-core fields. Recent amendment. What did I say? Bank details. Bank details. You have to give mandatory within 30 days of registration. Registration के 30 days में ही आपको बैंक का डिटेल देना होगा. आधार ऑथेंटिकेशन मैंडेटेड. Okay, then I said deemed registration. Assume कर लेंगे. Deemed registration. Write please. You will remember Dipti ma'am making you write what came in answer sheet. Years I've been teaching. I give the class test also like that chapter wise. When I was taking offline classes पहले तो मतलब ऐसा होता था कि weekly exams used to be there. So 10 to 1 o'clock was DT IDT class. So 9 to 10 every week the student used to write exam according to timetable. एक दिन टैक्स, एक दिन GST. चलो, deemed registration. When the proper officer gives no response. अब इसमें 3 बिट है. Within 30 days, in case of physical verification. Within 30 days, in case of physical verification, कोई response नहीं है. Within 7 days of application. Within 7 days of application. Within 7 days of query answered by taxpayer. You know, they have doubts. If they ask queries and if we have answered, within 7 days there is no reply, deemed to be registered. Within 7 days of application, neither query nor nothing, deemed. Or otherwise, other physical verification. These are the very important amendments. Now, Gujarat state, they have also started with biometric authentication and all, but it's only for one state. They've given in amendments, not required. That's all for today's class. 5 minutes before time. Yay! And tomorrow we are doing very important topic for sure. The way I have made the gist, I know how much hours and efforts I have given to condense e-way bill with the problems which are asked in exam. तो कुछ bits e-way bill में भी छोड़ देना है. You can't do everything. But what is important, you have to understand, you have to learn, and you have to solve question also. Like above 50,000 e-way bill is the 50,000 कैसे compute करेंगे ma'am? We'll work out 2-3 problems in the next class. Any doubt you have, you can comment, and if you have written the booster notes, please share the pictures. Whenever you are watching this live or recording, share it in the... See, I'm doing all this complimentary. So at least if something I'm asking, you can do. Huh? Today only the notification came that your last month subscribers have gone up by 200 in YouTube. That's really good. So all of you are trusting that you are getting genuine content here. Thank you for that. But with that, they have given circle karke that still 56% of the viewers are unsubscribed. Kar lo subscribe till the result, till the exam, then you can unsubscribe. No problem. And always when the exams are over till results are going on, last time also I did skill enhancer series. How to prepare your resume, how to prepare for interviews. Very small core areas, because I know team of trainers who are into this. All this will be live in YouTube. So it will be worth subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Closing with all the confidence and motivation. How are you feeling by reducing the blame to others? इतने दिन से मैम प्रेयर करा रहे हैं. कमेंट करके लिख के भेजो. Are you feeling that power within yourself because you have taken self responsibility for all your actions, behaviors, decisions, emotions? Okay. Neither guilty myself or blaming myself nor blaming others, but it's my responsibility to come out. Once you are aware, half the problem is solved. Okay? If this is working or not, let me know. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.